My name's Marcus Hale. I gave Westmont Industries 15 years, graveyard repairs, impossible deadlines, and the kind of loyalty you can't print on a poster. The founder, Robert Westmont, used to shake my hand and say, "We build more than product here. We build trust." I believed him. Then Robert got sick. His MBA-polished daughter, Miranda, glided in with consultants, buzzwords, and a smile sharp enough to cut payroll. Christmas bonuses vanished. Training died. The place still smelled like cutting oil, but the soul was getting outsourced. On a Tuesday, she called a mandatory all-hands. 60 people squeezed into the assembly hall. Julia, my wife and Robert's other daughter, sat front row, white-knuckled. Miranda clicked those expensive heels to the mic and announced Westmont's new era. Then she looked straight at me. "Marcus Hale," she said. "Your resistance to change makes you a hindrance. Today is your last day." Silence. Then the room remembered how to breathe. I stood, nodded once, and walked out. No scene, no bargaining. I didn't plan to give her the satisfaction. That night, with the house quiet and a glass of whiskey sweating on the table, a line from Robert resurfaced. "When I find real loyalty, I protect it. Legally." I dug through a decade of paperwork until I found my original contract. Page 7 hit like a defibrillator. Termination without cause triggered 24 months of salary and benefits, full vesting of options payable in 30 days, 5 years of performance bonuses, max retirement match for the same 2 years, and an upside kicker if the company's valuation rose. One more clause, page 8. Those terms survived changes in ownership and leadership and could not be modified without my signature. Translation: Miranda couldn't touch it. I called Gerald Price, a labor lawyer who looked like he ironed his suits in the car but argued like a prize fighter. He read the contract, whistled low, and said, "Marcus, I've practiced 30 years and never seen a founder build a bear trap this elegant." He sent a polite letter. "Please honor the agreement within 30 days." The next morning, Westmont's company counsel, Callaway, phoned in a flop sweat. He floated creative alternatives. 6 months, a generous bonus, a letter of recommendation. "Robert's contract says $650,000 minimum," I said. "I'm good with the original deal." Miranda called less than a day later, voice all steel and panic. She tried charm, then threats, then family guilt. I told her 2 things. Contracts mean what they say, and if she touched Julia's job over this, I'd make sure every business journal between Cleveland and Chicago learned how Robert's legacy was being handled. 2 weeks later, I sat in Gerald's office surrounded by filing cabinets older than TikTok and held a check for $687,450. Plus, fees, plus a corporate apology with Miranda's signature at the bottom. It didn't feel like a lottery win. It felt like math. Clean, undeniable, just. The dominoes started falling. Tom in quality put in his notice. Sarah from engineering left. Mike from planning followed. Henderson Manufacturing canceled a major. Project Westmont could no longer deliver without the people Miranda labeled outdated. Dave Henderson called me. "I don't want revenge," he said. "I want things built right. Come help me do that." Enter Titan Dynamics, a converted warehouse, boots on the floor, whiteboards full of equations, and 0 patience for committee theater. Rick Morrison ran it like a craftsman, not a brand campaign. He gave me problems and authority, not slogans. The first project we knocked out in 6 weeks, work that would have eaten Westmont alive for half a year. The calls kept coming. Companies who'd watched Westmont stumble wanted parts built by adults. Henderson brought us the big fish, a logistics contract that would triple Titan's revenue if we hit the dates. We did, and then some. Rick slid a partnership agreement across the table. "This exists because of relationships you built," he said. I signed. Meanwhile, Westmont's quarterlies bled out. Revenue down 18%, efficiency in free fall, turnover at 30%. The board brought in consultants. They used phrases like right-sizing and human capital optimization. People heard layoffs. One night, Julia came home, set her purse down like it weighed a cinder block, and said, "Miranda wants you back as a consultant." I laughed. "That ship sailed," she said, smiling. She lit it on fire before it left the harbor. A week later, an unmarked envelope appeared under my door. Cream paper, no postmark. Inside, 8 blocky words in Robert's handwriting. Thank you for protecting what I built. I pinned it above my desk at Titan. North Star. I started mentoring a kid named Danny, smart, fast, still learning that real engineering lives where theory, materials, budget, and human beings collide. We'd sit over his CAD models and talk through not just what works, but what will be built well by the crew that has to build it. That's the part consultants never model. Trust. Our reputation grew. You're the anti-Westmont, Rick said. We build. They PowerPoint. Trade journals picked up the story. Westmont became a cautionary case study in mistaking buzzwords for leadership. Titan got profiled for doing the unfashionable things, training, telling clients the truth, saying no to bad timelines, and being profitable because of it. Then Eddie called from the Westmont parking lot. She's out, he said. Bored? Finally did it. Turnaround guys in. I felt less triumph than grief. For the old picnic photos on Robert's wall. For the folks who'd given their backs and hands to a place that forgot why it existed. For a daughter who never understood her father's real inheritance. Eddie asked about openings. You've got a spot here, I said. Day you want it. 18 months after my public execution, I walk Titan's floor every morning and get sincere nods, not performance review smiles. Tony on the mill calls out tolerances he knows Henderson cares about. Danny brings me 3 viable mount designs and chooses the right one in the meeting without looking over his shoulder. Clients leave confident, not dazzled. People ask about Westmont. I don't talk about revenge. I talk about the difference between replaceable and impossible to replace. You can backfill a title. You can't clone 15 years of institutional memory, the judgment to trade a perfect solution for the right one, or the trust earned by never lying about a ship date. Miranda fired the past. Turns out the future needed it. I lock my office, glance at Robert's 8 words, and head home to Julia and a life built on work that matters. Mission accomplished, Robert.